I guess just for you, what's kind of your big picture assessment of how the game went for you guys?
Really proud of the way we battled, being down, losing Jalon, some things there, but I think we left opportunities out there. I think we hurt ourselves again with penalties in the fourth quarter. And, just some things where you can see where as you rotate, it's not as clean as it needs to be. And we've got to be better in order to win games against good quality teams like this. That all said, I'm really proud of this football team for the way it battled and kept, coming back and those things. So, yeah.
And do you have any update on Jalon's injury?
It's his shoulder. It's still under evaluation, and I just got done doing radio, and those things are, that's all I was told. He was done for the day, and that's it. I'm sure the next 48 hours will help us to go from there.
And Jason Bean stepping in, how impressed were you with his ability to come in and lead the offense?
Very, very impressed. Again, but not surprised. Remember, because you're here all the time, and we've talked about how well he's played. So that's exactly what I told him right before we went back out. I said, you've played well, you've prepared well, you've handled the situation extremely well. Now go out and play. And I didn't see his numbers yet, but I thought he did a nice job.
Lance, over here. I'm just curious on that last drive on offense. If you score a touchdown there, were you thinking about going for 2, or would you have tried to put it to overtime? Yes, go for 2. And then also, this doesn't have to do with the game, but Trevor Wilson's case was dismissed on Friday.
Yeah.
Do you have any update on his status?
No, not yet. That was Friday, and we'll continue to work through that, but talk with Travis and things. Obviously, timing of that versus getting ready for everything happening here wasn't the best, but I look forward to getting him back here. It's unfortunate it took that long.
Lance, just obviously a lot of attention on this game today, a lot of pomp and circumstance, and to have a deflating loss. How do you feel like you're going to process this, and what will your message be to the team this week in the aftermath of this?
Well, again, I think we showed ourselves very well that we can line up and play against people. We just got to clean some things up, and if we don't, it can be a tough second half of the season. If we clean it up and keep battling, because the one thing I think was evident today is that this team will play 60 minutes and keep battling. But again, it's my responsibility, and I didn't do a good enough job to get us in a position. We've got to clean up some things and make that better and give ourselves even a better chance.
Yeah, Lance, the defense had several stops in the areas. Just talk about their performance and how they've come along.
That's two nice performances. Don't get fooled by the scores. It's more shorter fields and things like that. I think we're doing some good things there. We got a 4th down stop early. Obviously it was their plan to try to jump on us early, kind of like they did last week. We hold them to a field goal, and then we get a stop. So a lot of those things kind of played our way. And we continue to do some good things, but I don't know what our missed tackles were and all that. So where does this all balance out? I mean, we get another unfortunate 3rd down penalty on 3rd and long to make it 3rd and short. They convert and go down. So those are the small things that when we're doing things really well, as I told the team, our margin of error is still pretty small. Okay, that's reality. That's okay. We can embrace that, but we've got to be better in certain situations. I mean, what do we have? 5 penalties there, 1. I mean, when you have 5 times more penalties than your opponent, it's hard to win.
Lance, I'm sure when Jason Bean comes here, he wants to be a starting quarterback. Can you just shed some light on how he's handled the role he's had to make him prepared for what he entered today?
Well, if you've been around Jason, he's pretty reserved all the time, even when things are going really well. So he's handled it. I mean, and, that's today's world of college football, and especially at the quarterback position. But again, at least upon our arrival, though he decided to come earlier, is that, we've talked about competition and all those different things, and we talk about staying ready. As you can see, he's a fine athlete. We want to find ways to get him on the field, and we have. And, I'm sure it's not exactly the way he envisioned it from 1 year ago at this time. But, instead of dwelling on that, I'd like to really commend him for the fact that the way he's handled it to be ready. And if he has to, be the starter next week, I'm very confident he'll have a great week of preparation and take advantage of his opportunity to be the starter.
And then just the past 18 months, however long it's been, how much of this growth overall do you feel like has been a product of getting not just better starters, but depth as well?
Yeah, our depth, I think, continues to show itself at different times with guys making plays. Kai Thomas had a couple plays, Savion had a couple plays. You see some different receivers making plays. I say even, that's not the right way to say it. Stephen McBride hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He had a chance to flash his speed a little bit and got us some good field position late. Defensively, you were able to rotate guys because it's physical, and we're not going to be able to hold up if we're going to just play 11 to 14 guys on each side of the ball. So it's good for us, and it creates that good competition, that the gap between, and some of it is obviously talent, some of it is age and maturity and strength and all the things we're talking about. There's not the gap there was a year ago, just based on all the youth we had on the field in the second unit.
Coach, you mentioned your team's ability to battle it out. So when you go down in the half in the locker room and talk with your team, can you talk about that resiliency to come out like you guys did in the second half, especially when you have something like a quarterback going out?
Yeah, I think it says a lot. I mean, it was a little different at halftime. I'm not going to deny that it's close game, but Jalon's not only he's well liked in this program. We know what he's done, all those things. So when nobody's really sure, there's a little bit of concern, obviously, losing Daniel last weekend. So it's some of those things that you kind of, but again, you've got to keep them focused on what's important. We said it's going to be a 60-minute game, so where we were at and getting the ball back, I thought was real important for us. And I see us with a lot different resiliency than we had a year ago because of that. Some of it's confidence, some of it's maturity, some of it's just the experiences of playing and belief. And I think some of those games we fell behind early in the season and battled back has given this group a new sense of understanding of that, much like today, we're not out of it until it's over.
Lance, when Jason's playing a snap here or two throughout the course of the season, has to go in there, how do you think he really handled kind of the reacclimation process, kind of the live reps and going out there against the defense for an extended period of time?
I'm not sure, Zach, if I'm understanding exactly what you're
just the
asking.
adjustment phase, right? He's out in there in
Going
practice,
back out there now.
And then now he's got a live situation.
Yeah, because you can be rusty and you kind of go through some scrimmages and you're not live. I thought even some of the plays we sprinkled him in early gives him a little bit of feel for that, but I've said it many times in here that I think our practice model and the reps that he gets and different things that we ask him to do, Jim and Andy, what they ask him to do, I think helps. I think it's a classic example that you have to, when you talk about being mentally ready, being mentally into it at practice, mental reps and watching and putting yourself through it, because you're always one play away.
You talked so much, and you alluded to this earlier, about the way he practiced, the preseason camp and how he was out there. what does it do for the rest of the guys when, if Jason is practicing that well and they see that, to know that maybe there's not a drop-off there and that they can rally behind him?
Yeah, I think for the most part, he showed some things today that again, that, you know, I'm sorry for having to look down. We're down 10-3, so we scored, what, 28 points the second half or something? I mean, we scored more second half than the first half with him at quarterback. So I think that's another, and he made some throws now. So, I mean, there's some plays there that, now, does he have things he's got to improve on? Absolutely. But I think it gives this team, but again, I think, forgot what, 8 games started last year, 9? I'm sorry, 9, 8. So, you know, this group knows, the ones that have been behind us, so it's not totally just throwing, you know, a rookie out there, so to speak.
Tabor Allen had been really good at kickoffs this season with a lot of touchbacks. I guess what happened with him today were
Those were all strategy. I mean, we were all trying to kick it away from their guy. We didn't execute them all the way we want, and you know, we asked them to do a lot of different things, and that's sometimes easier said than done. Trying to place the ball away from somebody, that's something, you know, we need to reevaluate. And you know, it's probably an area that obviously we didn't do as well today as we wanted, because, you know, even when we did kick it away there towards the end, they drop it, and we have, you know, we're not closing the gap in coverage, and had a chance to pin them down a little bit.
Hey, Coach, can you just talk about the day that Mason Fairchild had and how valuable and versatile he's been to the group?
Yeah, I thought Mason had a big-time day. You know, he made some big plays. I heard the guys talking. I was kind of blocked out the one where I think he had a twist the other way when he was wide open, made a heck of a play. And again, you know, Mason's a guy that's a leader in this program, very unassuming, works hard. And again, there's a time where everyone, you never know in our offense who's going to get that opportunity to step up. And I thought he had a big day. Yeah. Anybody else?
Lance, on your final offensive play, it appeared there was something between interference and holding, and I don't know that you can comment on that, but I wonder if that's the sort of thing you talk to your team about in some way, about controlling what they can control, or how you fit that in if you do.
Yeah, it's probably something I can't really comment on now, and get a better look at it, send it in, but can't change it, unfortunately. Like I say, when you have 5 times as many penalties as your opponent, it's tough to win. So, but yeah, we got to play the game and find a way.